Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for our Thursday showdown game. We got Cincinnati, we got Miami. We know where the production is coming from, so let's not pussyfoot around this. Let's get straight to the point. We're gonna start with your captains. What's your captain player pool looking like? I'm gonna tell you mine because it should be yours. We starting from the top. Chase is absolutely in contention for captain. Tyree Hill, of course. Waddle is in the conversation. You know, you've seen what he can do. If you haven't seen what he can do, let me briefly remind you, so we're all on the same page. Week 1, 5 targets. Week 2, 19 targets in that crazy game. Week 3, 6 targets, 4 catches, 11 catches, 4 catches. 17 fantasy points, 45 fantasy points, 18 fantasy points. Alright, so, okay. Joe Burrow, you know who he is. Tua, he's emerged as, he's in the upper echelon of quarterback talk right now. And he's earned it in the first three weeks. We'll see what continues to happen. But as of right now, he's up there, and that's that. I'm not even going to talk about his passes and his completions. 14 fantasy points, 43 fantasy points, 11 fantasy points in a game where he got hurt. So take that with a grain of salt. Now, the total for this game is 47. The spread is 4. Favoring Cincinnati. What does that mean? That means that if they take the lead, like Vegas think they will, then you're going to want to have some shares of Mr. Joe Mixon. That's what that means. This is DFS 101, right? So if you're a veteran and you're saying to yourself, shit, I already know this. Of course you do. This is for the people that are newer. There's a lot of newer people in DFS, dabbling with DFS, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So, yes, Joe Mixon is in contention for captain because Cincinnati is expected to have the lead. And obviously, when most football teams have the lead, they ground and pound to burn the clock. So Joe Mixon is in play, and on top of that, he's a very good running back. Week 1, 82 yards, 7 receptions. Week 2, 57 yards, 3 receptions. Week 3, 24 yards, 3 receptions. 21 fantasy points, 11 fantasy points, 6 fantasy points. Joe Mixon's always in play. T. Higgins, if you want somebody a little bit lower on, Higgins is your guy. Most people will go to Chase. Obviously, T. Higgins, lower on captain. He will. If I'm playing multiple lineups, I'll get Higgins in one of them as captain. I think I'll stop there. I think I'm not going to jump out the window with Tyler Boyd, but Tyler Boyd, if you sent me a message and said, "Yo, I'm playing Tyler Boyd as captain tonight," it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's actually it would be a sneaky play. 4 receptions, 2 receptions, 4 receptions. 1 touchdown, no touchdown, 1 touchdown. 13 fantasy points, 5 fantasy points, 23 fantasy points. He's in play. You know, he'll be lower on, but he's in play. He'll be a sneaky play. I don't think I'll jump out the window. I'm not playing enough lineups to be playing 4 or 5 different captains, but that's the player pool of people that I'm interested in as captains. Now, what are we doing? What do I tell you about Showdown? I tell you that for Showdowns, well, for all DFS, you know, anything to do DFS, you want to have a game script. I tell you that all the time, but in Showdown, you really need a game script. Because if you just F around and pick 5 players that you like, you're just going to F around and lose really quickly. You know what I'm saying? You need a game script. You need to say to yourself, well, I'm going to play for the Bengals to get a nice, healthy lead and maintain the lead and win. Or I'm going to play for a shootout between both teams. Or I'm going to play for, you know, Cincinnati having a really good defense and shutting down Miami. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you gotta pick players to match your game script. You know what I'm saying? So, 47 total, a 4 spread favoring the Bengals. I like for the game to be pretty much even, so I'll do a couple lineups. My first lineup, you know, everybody's gonna probably be on Chase. I'll probably go Higgins. If you're gonna play Higgins, what are you gonna do? You gotta play the quarterback. I'll play Burrow. I'll play Burrow. I'll play another pass catcher. Could play Boyd if you could get it in. You could play Boyd. You can run it back with another Miami pass catcher, skill player. You want to run it back with? I wouldn't run it back with Edmonds in a script where you think that the Bengals are going to score a lot of points. I'll run it back with a pass catcher. That's what I would do. If you want to run it back with Jazaki, 55K, you can. I try to get in. Let's see. Probably Jasaki's probably your best bet. If you could fit in Waddle, that'd be great. If you wanted to fit in Tua, you'd probably be better off fitting in Tua. You fit Tua in. You got 6K left, 6,200. So you go Higgins, you go Burrow, you go Tua. What do we want to do next? You can play a Cincinnati kicker. You can. Let's see. We got Higgins, we got Burrow. You can play Boyd at 7K. You can definitely play Boyd. You can play Hayden Hurst at 5,400. If you want to pair Tua with Seki in this lineup, it won't hurt because you know that Miami's going to score some points also. So you could do a 3-2, not 3-2. You could do a 4-2 instead of a 5-1 favoring Cincinnati. So I would do. We got Higgins, we got Burrow. We'll do Boyd. We'll do Jaceki. You have $6,700 to do whatever you want. We got Tua, we got Jaceki. You get in one of the kickers if you want, and you'll still have money left over. If you wanted to do Chase, who will be more owned than Higgins, you do Chase. You do Burrow. You do another pass catcher. Or, since he does get some targets, you could do Mixon. The money's getting tight already. That's what happens when you play Chase at captain. Hayden Hurst? No. McPherson? We have 56 left. And then we'll do, don't have much money left. See, this lineup is not going to work unless you think it's going to be an absolute blowout, because you can't really get any heavy hitters from Miami in it. So that's not going to work out. And the reason I'd rather play a wide receiver at captain instead of the quarterback, because if Joe Burrow has a crazy game at captain, that means that one of his main receivers went crazy, and they're gonna have a higher, they'll have a higher fantasy score than him. So that's why I really don't play the quarterbacks at captain. I pick a receiver that I think is gonna go crazy, and I die on that hill. You know what I'm saying? Because if they go off like I think with the quarterback in the lineup, you cash him. I think Higgins is the best captain for lineup construction. Pair him with Burrow. No rocket science there. Run it back with Hill, Tua, or Waddle, whichever one you want. And then you go from there. I think that's probably your best bet if you're doing a Cincinnati stack. If you think Miami's gonna smash them or put up a lot of points, you want to go cheetah when cheetah's already calling out Eli Apple. I don't know about all that. I'll go Waddle. Save a couple bucks while I'm at it. If Tua's head is okay, I'll play Tua. If these guys are healthy, I'll play these two. I start with these two. Run it back with Burrow. Run it back with Burrow. 5K. Tyler Boyd is cheap enough. Throw him in there. You got Miami wide receiver and his quarterback. You got Cincinnati's quarterback and the wide receiver. Maybe I get a kicker in there. Let's get Miami's kicker in there. And now you got $4,900 to do whatever you want. If you think Miami's gonna have the lead and they want to ground and pound, you pick up Mostert. Or you can pick up Cincinnati's kicker if you want to play that way. Let's see. 2 targets, 1 target, 3 targets. That's not enough for me to play. Some people will play Mr. Smythe. I don't think I'm touching him. Mr. River. 1 target, 2 target. He did get the touchdown. I mean, if you have a lineup and you have $2,400 left, have at it with CRACRAFT. If you want to take a shot on him, it's not the end of the world. If you're, that's your last man in. But I usually don't take those type of risk. $4,900. $4,900. 5 attempts, 11 attempts, 8 attempts. 1 target, 3 target, 2 targets, 4 fantasy points, 10 fantasy points, 1 fantasy point. I mean, my last man in is most start. It's not the end of the world. Anything can happen. So you got Waddle, Tua. You got Burrow, Boyd. You got Sanders and Mostert. It's a little bit balanced because you got a pass. You got 2 quarterbacks and 2 pass catchers with a kicker. But like I said, it's only a 4 spread, so the game is expected to be close. So this lineup build is not the end of the world. And if you wanted to just go all out Miami, Waddle, Hill, Tua, Maybe run it back with Hayden Hurst. Hope you get lucky. Sanders and Taseki. See how easy that was? It's not rocket science. What you trying to do? You're trying to fill your spots with players that are going to have the highest probabilities to get fantasy points and touchdowns. That's what we're doing. It's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to have you guys understand that. Keep it simple. All the overthinking on showdown slates. Just keep it simple. The players that get the most snaps, the most touches, the most targets, you play them. Because they're most likely the ones to get the most fantasy points. Alright? That's all I'm saying. Let's go to FanDuel. I think I covered enough lineups, enough lineup builds. And I really wasn't going to build these lineups, but I'm really trying to help you guys understand how to play Showdown. Alright? So, like the video. Alright, we're going to do a couple FanDuel drafts. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for watching. Hit the bell so you know when I drop these videos. Subscribe. Thumbs up this video so we can circulate the video, because I'm here trying to help you understand how to build these Showdown lineups. There is a little bit of technique to it. We're not going to stay long on FanDuel. Oh, by the way, if you want my that lineup, not necessarily Showdown, but on Sunday and MLB, as long as MLB has a slate, I'll be building lineups for those slates. Jump into Patreon, link in the description. It's no longer from the 1st to the 1st. It's now month to month, so you could sign up anytime and get your 30 days or get your full month without having any issues. So jump into Patreon, sign up, let's go. Once again, like the video. Okay. Let's just build out a few FanDuel lineups and let's get the hell out of here. Okay, so we like Cincinnati to win. We like Cincinnati to put up some points. I like Chase. I don't want to fade Chase because he's going to be too popular and then he has a crazy game. So Chase, Burrow. We got 10K left. Higgins is, to get both of those guys in there, it's crazy. So we're at 97.50. 97.50. Let me see if I can get Waddle is 13.50. I can't get him in there. Kicker. So we get in McPherson. We're left with 10K. Who was here for 10K that we could play with? See, that's the thing. You got to be really smart playing this. It will lead you into a trap. So let's back up. Let's get one of our main guys from Miami. If you want to play that way. If you want to play full Cincinnati, that's very easy to play full Cincinnati 4-1 stack. Very easy. If you want to run it back with someone from Miami, what you'll have to do, put in Higgins. Now you can fit in Hill. You can fit in Tua. Can you? Let's see. Let's do Waddle. 13.50. You got 90.50 left. So you got Higgins, his quarterback. You got Waddle by himself. We'll do we do Boyd? Let's do Boyd. And then let's do McPherson. This is probably the winner right here. Higgins, Burrow, Waddle, Boyd, McPherson. I'm not going to be doing this every Showdown slate, but I need you guys to understand how we're playing this. We're doing a full stat. We have Burrow's main receiver. We have Burrow himself. We have Tua's one of his main receivers. We have another Joe Burrow receiver who's playing very well. And especially if there's going to be no Chase is healthy, right? Yeah, Chase is healthy. So you have Boyd and you have the kicker for Cincinnati. So if you're playing a Cincinnati quarterback and two receivers, you're playing a kicker because you're expecting a lot of touchdowns, a lot of extra points, and obviously a lot of field goals when they can't make it into the end zone. And then you're running it back with one of Miami's main weapons. This is how you build a lineup. I'm not saying it's gonna cash, but you're going into a battle with a game script that has a high probability of happening. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Let's do a Miami lineup. Let's get out of here. So we're paying attention to Waddle. We know in Miami where the production comes from. Let's get in Hill. Let's get in Tua. We're gonna probably have to run it back with Boyd. You can run it back with Boyd. You could probably run it with Mixon. I wouldn't do that though. I run it back with a pass catcher. I wouldn't run it with Boyd. Pass catcher. Can Higgins fit? Boyd is also. Let's see. Let's get Higgins in. Let's see what it looks like. 97.50. To Chase Edmonds. Do we think that Miami's gonna have the lead in ground and pound? Do we think that? He's not. Well, week 1 he had 4 targets. Week 3 he had 3. Week 1 he had 4 targets. Week 2 he had 3. Week 3 he had 1 target. 12 rushes, 5 rushes, 6 rushes. Touchdowns in week 3. I don't know Chase. Let's see something. Hold on. Waddle. Who's at 6K? I don't think there's anybody at 6K I'm playing. No, he hasn't played. Wow. Okay, let's try this. Let's take out Higgins. Let's put in Boyd. That leaves us with 75.50, 7,500. And see who we can throw in here. Boom. Look at that. So we just did a 4-1 stat with Miami. You got Tyreek, you got Tua, you got Boyd, you got Waddle, you got Zeki. So if you're expecting Miami to put up a lot of points, you're expecting Cincinnati's offensive line to be trash, and for them to not get much off, then you play this lineup. And I'll do one last lineup, and this lineup is going to be Cincinnati with the lead. You think Cincinnati's going to have the lead? Cool. You're playing Mixon up top. Whoa. You're playing Mixon up top. You're going to play his quarterback. I do want a pass catcher. Let's get Higgins in here. I love that price for Higgins. Let's run it back with, can we fit Waddle? Can we? Let's throw in Tyreek. Let's see who we could get. Hayden Hurst. What's that? Minnesota? That's Cincinnati. Hayden Hurst. Let's see. What have you been doing, big fella? 8 targets, 7 targets, 2 targets. Shit. I'm fine with that. 7K, last man in. I got Burrow, I got Mixon, I got Higgins, I got Tyreek Hill. And my last man in is Hayden Hurst. Alright, ain't the end of the world. This lineup is for if you think Cincinnati's going to have the lead and they're going to just be shoving the ball down their throats and take time off the clock, this is the lineup I'll run. Yeah, with the way the money is set up, I like this lineup. It's only Wednesday. We got a little bit of time to play with these lineups, and we're still going to be waiting on Waddle into his injury status. So for right now, this is what I like. Don't say I ain't never give you anything. Once again, like the video. If you need MLB lineups, NFL Showdown lineups, or NFL Sunday main slate lineups, jump into Patreon right now. You don't have to wait till the first. We're going month to month. I'm feeling a little bit better. We're going to turn this shit up. I'm not playing. Let's go. Good luck. Talk to you guys later. Ciao.